Finally, I have been able to read Atlas Shrugged, a book with 1067 pages. Reading this book was an achievement in itself, and it was definitely a Herculean task. And this was the longest book I have ever read in my life. So let's try to find the answers to two questions. Number one, who is John Galt? And number two, what's so special about this book? So let's try to find the main theme of the book and the reason why it's called Atlas Shrugged. So Atlas is a Greek god who is carrying earth on his shoulders. So in a way we can say that he's carrying the burden of the earth on his shoulders. Imagine what will happen if people of earth start ridiculing him, start humiliating him. He might shrug, which means that he might shrug off his responsibilities. He may say that you are making fun of me, why should I carry your burden? So this is the main theme of this book. Imagine what would happen to this world if all the productive people, all the entrepreneurs, all the scientists, all the thinkers, all the intellectuals go on a strike. This book is a story of a man who said that he would stop the motor of the world, and he did. So let's talk about the characters in this book. There are many characters in this book, but I will only touch upon four of them, starting with the female protagonist, Dagny Taggart. Dagny Taggart is a bold, strong, and a very straightforward lady. She is the president of Taggart Continental, the railroad company. She's a kind of a president who would not work from office, but she would go to site, she would go to construction site, she will go to rail tracks, she would meet the workers, and she will solve their problems there and then. And she was a kind of lady who was running the show and president of the largest railway line in America. But the problem was that she was not supposed to make profit out of this venture, but she was supposed to run this railways the way government wanted. There was a lot of government intervention and she was not allowed to work independently. The second protagonist in this book is Hank Rearden. Hank Rearden is a steel conglomerate who worked 10 long years to produce a steel alloy which was better than steel, and this alloy could revolutionize the whole industry. But the problem was that he was not allowed to sell his steel alloy because it would wipe out the competition, and in order to keep the other industries in business, government did not allow him to sell his steel. And the third protagonist is Francisco Denconia. Francisco Denconia was the owner of the largest copper mine in that area, but the problem was that government wanted to nationalize his copper mines. So what he did was that he secretly joined this group of strikers, and eventually he destroyed his own mines, so that even if the government takes over his mines, there is no copper available to extract from these mines. So now let's talk about the final protagonist, the main protagonist of this book, John Galt. The main protagonist, Mr. Galt, only appears in part 3 of the book, and he is nowhere to be seen till page 643. Can you imagine this? So Mr. Galt is a highly intellectual guy. He creates a motor which can power an entire city. But again, he was frustrated with the ways and means of the government, and he decided that he would pull all such creative people like him into a separate island away from this world and would create an ideal space, an ideal world for them. And he did that. And after he did that, the world really came to an halt. How? To get the answer to that, you need to read this book. This book talks about the highest state a man could be in. Another masterpiece by Ayn Rand, and this is definitely a life-changing book. So I would highly recommend this book. So with this, we are coming to the end of this video. This is Vipul signing off till we meet again.